Did you know Steven Seagal, Blake's acting partner and the breakout star of the film, was almost portrayed by a CGI bird? The usage of both CGI and a puppet was considered based on the belief that it would be hard to train such a bird to act. Thankfully, the producers insisted on working with an actual animal. Steven Seagal's name in real life is Sully. He lives to this day in a seagull sanctuary in Australia. 2 extra seagulls were used to portray Steven Seagal. According to producer Maddie Lasham, they were all good, but not nearly as good as him. Peggy was the vocal one, the very squawky bird. Blake Lively was partially influenced by the work of her husband, Ryan Reynolds, in the similarly minimalist film Buried, 2010. Blake stated, "That was one of the reasons why I wanted to take on this movie so much, because I know how tough that was for him and how rewarding it was." Blake Lively only had a stunt double for the surfing scenes, since she couldn't surf professionally. "All I did was paddle," she recalled. Her surfing stunt double was professional Australian surfer and 19-year-old Isabella Nichols, who taught Blake how to paddle correctly, how to wax a board, how to put a leg rope on, and fins in to make it all look authentic. Jaume Collet-Serra teamed up with the art department for the design of the shark. "I came to the conclusion that the shark had to be female," said the director. "Females are slightly bigger and have great scars from mating. Visually, they're scarier as they are more protective. Creating the shark generally took thousands of hours of research, so the film crew watched every Shark Week episode to get the idea of creating the shark." He added, "She's a female shark. We know exactly how much she weighs. Every scar that she has a story behind it. It's really an incredible job of artistry and research." The sheer size of the shark made a great difference to the animators. Scott E. Anderson told the animators to think of the shark as a big diesel truck with lots of power and torque versus a high-revving German-engineered car. The seagull that accompanies Lively in the film is an untrained bird that was fed to stay inside the photographic frame. He surprised everyone when he listened to the cameramen, and in the end, the cast named the seagull Steven. His real name is Sully, and he now enjoys life in a sanctuary. It took an incredible team of 9 boats and 70 crew members to shoot this incredible scene you see in the film. Blake Lively revealed in an interview that she's actually terrified of sharks in real life and that she's never even seen the movie Jaws. But her perspective changed after diving with great white sharks. She recalled, "That was one of the greatest experiences I've ever had. It was really eye-opening. You see these creatures in their habitat, not hunting you." Did you know that Blake Lively performed many of the scenes without a double? She did many of the complicated stunts herself, using a stunt double only for the most extreme surf scenes, in which she was replaced by Aussie professional surfer Isabella Nichols. Although set in Mexico, the film was shot in Australia, on Lord Howe Island, a World Heritage Site with no cell or internet service. Only 350 people live on the island, and the marine ecosystem is protected, so it was hard to shoot there. It's considered one of the few unspoiled natural spots left on the planet. The set could only be reached by bike. Because of its protected status, the island only allows a few vehicles. The team biked to the shooting location every morning before dawn in order to take full advantage of the daylight. They had to ditch their bikes when they arrived at the beach in order not to disturb endangered birds nesting nearby. The rest of the scenes were shot in a tank with blue screens for effects, but director Jaume Collet-Serra wanted to avoid the more stylized look of similar films using the setup, and estimated that 10% of the film was shot on location in order to trick the audience into believing the setting was real. He explained that every scene has one shot that is real, and the other 99% is not. But the one real shot tricks you. Blake Lively's hairstylist, Rod Ortega, had to get into the tank to do Blake's hair. Blake recalled, "He basically spent 30 days in the tank with me, like in the water. The entire time he was doing my hair from the water, he was like a fish." The movie's script was on the 2014 blacklist, a list made through a survey of producers and studios about the best scripts which, for various reasons, haven't yet reached the silver screen. Some of these scripts become movies sometime later, as happened with this one, which was initially titled In the Deep. This movie marked Blake Lively's second leading role. Her first was in The Age of Adeline.